Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. That's right. It's Monday, and you know what time it is. It's time to get motivated with me, your girl, Shay Samuels. As always, I want to first say thank you for tuning in. You could be doing anything in this world, but you've decided to spend the next 15 minutes right here with me getting motivated. Kudos to you. And remember that one brings one. So as you become inspired, encouraged, and motivated by the messages, I encourage you to do the same thing for someone else. Why? Because Mondays are bad enough as it is. Everything under the sun happens on Mondays. Your car is breaking down, the kid's not getting up, you're stuck in traffic now that school started, something happened at work before you got in there, maybe you had to call out. But listen, our reality is that Mondays are the craziest of all days of the week. It's the start of our week. So how you start it off determines how it's going to end. So why not motivate someone else, encourage or inspire someone else? And always do not turn the dial. At the end, there's a gift for you. Something that's going to help you throughout the course of your week. So if you turn the dial, if you skip, you do anything, you're going to miss the message. So let me go ahead without further ado and get into this message because it's going to bless you. It's going to bless you. So listen, I realize that with all this digital world that we live in, a lot of people are literally missing out on personal touch. And I thought about this the other day because a friend of mine was talking to me and they said, I reach out to a number of people and nobody ever reaches back into me. I'm the one calling everyone to find out how they're doing. And nobody, I feel like nobody does that. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you're the person who's actually reaching out to everyone and nobody is reaching into you? And if they are reaching into you, they're going through your Facebook Messenger and they're saying, hey, buy this. Hey, I'm doing this. Hey, look at this. And nobody's paying attention to what you actually have going on. They're in your Instagram, possibly sending you something funny. Who knows? But they're not checking up on your well-being. So it is imperative that we bring back some of that personal touch. So I want to do that with you today. I want to bring back some of that personal touch. So let me be the first to say or ask you, how are you doing today? How's your day going? How's your morning going? How was last night? How was your weekend? How are your children? How's that husband? How's that wife? How's work going? Have you gotten that job that you've been applying for? If you haven't, keep pushing, keep going. It's going to happen. It's going to be in an unexpected way, but it's going to happen. Were you able to get those bills paid? Listen, do not get discouraged. The check is going to come in the mail. You work for it. You're sowing seed. You're doing everything that you can. And when you take your hands off of it, you better believe it's going to appear. It always happens. How's your health? Has anybody asked you that lately? Have you been going to the doctor? And what did the doctor say? Are you doing what the doctor is asking you to do? Have you followed your treatment plan? If not, you better jump up on it because you want to stay alive in this season. There's too much going around us where people are passing away left and right, and you want to be in good and perfect health. So do what your doctor says. Have you lost someone lately? How are you feeling? Listen, for me, I lost someone very dear to me. And for 2 months, I realized I haven't been in the right space in my head. For some reason, I've just blanked everything out. I'm still working. I'm still motivated. I'm still encouraging. I'm still inspiring. But my reality is I have been hurt for a very long time. And you know what? I learned that I've been able to cover it up. I've learned that in my day-to-day routine, it's just become natural for me to cover it up. Something I didn't even know I was covering up. But there are people around me who love me enough to say, listen, you need to get the help that you need to get for you to overcome this thing. Grieving is inevitable, and grieving seriously is something that most of us don't even know we're going through. So I ask you, have you lost someone? How are you doing? How are you doing? Listen, don't tell me that I'm doing fine. Don't tell me that I'll get over it. Don't tell me to God be the glory. I'm checking in on you. How are you doing? Listen, every now and then we have to have that mental downtime. For me, it was for 2 months, and I didn't realize that I was taking this downtime. I didn't realize that I wasn't doing things the way that I normally would do it because I've been so numb to just doing things. So if you have and you have not taken the time out to heal, I encourage you to heal. See, look, I'm here with you. I'm 100% here with you. So I encourage you to take that time out to heal. What have you been going through in your marriage? Listen, you don't have to tell me, but I want you to be real with where you are. How are things going in your marriage? Wives, are you doing what it takes for your husband to come in the house and feel warm and feel fuzzy and feel loved? Are you asking him how his day's going? Have you noticed him sitting in the car for 10 to 15 minutes after pulling up at the house? Well, look, there's something not going on in the house that he sees or feels comfortable with. So I encourage you to listen, have the conversation, talk. Listen, how's your day going? Is there anything you need from me? Is there anything I can do to make your day easier? Or when you come home, is there anything I can do that would help you just not have to sit in the car for 15 minutes? If you have small children and the husband works later, maybe you want to get the kids in the bed a little bit earlier. Put some candles on and some soft music. Maybe cook his favorite meal once a week or once a month. Who knows? But have the conversation. Husbands, are you asking, how's your day? Are you asking that? Are you asking, how is your day going? How's your week going? How's your month going? Hey, listen, I know that you liked this about 30 days ago, but what's changed in your life that I need to be in tune with? The world is too busy as it is. Yes, you have to make the money for the bills to be paid. But you know what? If you lost everything, would you still be intact? It's important for you to know that. If I lost everything today, if I had one thing in this world, it would be my husband or my wife, my children, my family, the love that we have for one another. But we've been so busy with trying to make it work, it's just not working. That's the reality. It's just not working. So have the conversations. Parents, are you talking with the children? Have you talked to your child lately? Do you know their favorite color, their new favorite color? Do you know their favorite meal? Do you know what they don't like to eat? Not because you cooked it and you made them eat it, but do you know who their friends are? Do you know what they like to wear? Do you know their favorite keyword? Do you know what's going on at school? Do you know what's going on with them emotionally? Do you know if they're being talked about or if they're the ones talking about people? We've gotten so accustomed as parents of do as I say and not as I do. But listen, our children are going to do exactly what we do. I realized as my children were growing up, I would say things like my mom used to say to me, don't do as I do as I say. But our reality is that the children are going to do exactly what we do. So if you're smoking a cigarette and you're telling them, look, this is bad for you, don't do it. Guess what? You're the parent. They see you as a cool parent. So if you're smoking, they're going to think smoking is cool. Have you had the conversation with them about your growing up and your upbringing? Things that you didn't like, things that you did like. Or are you hiding that from them? It's time to have these type of conversations. Why? Because the world's having it with them. You don't want your child to grow up and find out that everything that you've advised them of is a lie, because now the news is putting it out there. YouTube is putting it out there. They're seeing it on social media. They're having the conversations in school. So why not have the conversations at home? Son or daughter, how's your day? Listen, as a parent, again, you might be saying, listen, I got to get the food made. I got to get the clothes washed. I got to be the one to clean the house. But it takes a second to just listen. You know, when the pandemic happened, the first group of people I thought about the seniors. I realized, me growing up and working with seniors, that they are the most vulnerable in any mind-blowing or change in the universe. If it's a new house, a new place of living, new friends, they go through a lot. I used to own a nursing home, and I know what they go through. So is it that you can actually take the time out to speak with a senior, to truly listen? When the pandemic happened, I said to myself, I'm going to reach out to the seniors. I put a bolo out and I said, are there any seniors that just needs an ear? Someone that you just need to talk to? Is there anyone that's out there that just needs someone to listen? Maybe you're the one that's always talking. That coworker next to you, you're telling the coworker all of your problems, your challenges in life, and then one day you just stop right after this message and listen to them. And you find out that they've lost their home. They possibly lost a loved one. They possibly lost something in their lives. Maybe they're going through a mental battle. Maybe they're going through abuse at home. Something has changed in their lives. And because all you've been doing is talking about your problems, your challenges, and what you've been going through, you miss the mark to just listen. You're pinging them left and right about what you don't like about work. Talking about the boss, talking about the person next to both of you, talking about what the job is not doing and how you can do it better. And on the inside, this person just needed you to listen to them. We have become so digital in this world that it's caused us to be so informal, so impersonable, unknowledgeable about the people in our lives. Listen, it's imperative that not just in this season, but this week, that we make that change. How did you feel when I was asking you those questions? How did you feel? You know, it would feel good on my part for someone to call me and just say, how are you? I get, hey, I need a couple of dollars. Hey, I need a word of motivation. Hey, I'm going through this. Can you pray for me? But I've heard testimonies of people who say, I've been the one doing this all along and no one checked on me. And then the person would say, I've been living in a hotel. While my family was laying on the bed or lying on the bed, I was laying in the tub. Or while I was up at the altar praying for other people, I was hurting on the inside and nobody knew it. Didn't know where the money was going to come from for bills. I couldn't feed my children. But you know what? I was the one that everyone else counted on. Can you be the person that someone counts on today? Can you be that person to just say, how are you doing? You know, years ago, I started this challenge of just saying hi to people as I walk by. And at first, I have to be honest with you, admittedly, I was a little flustered about the fact that people wouldn't say it back. I was sitting in the elevator with someone one day and I said hi to her and she didn't speak back to me. And I got off the elevator and I said, you know what? People are just rude. Something clicked in me almost immediately and said, you don't know what she's going through. You don't know what she experienced coming in today. Maybe she didn't hear your hi because her mind is somewhere else. Maybe she was abused before she came into work. Maybe her children cursed her out before she came into work. Maybe someone said something or cut her off. Maybe she saw something that really distracted her mind. Maybe it's the job that she's preparing for mentally. And where you think your high is going to bring life, her mind was somewhere else. So I got off the elevator thinking, how awful was it of me to be so insensitive about a high? And I never asked, how's your day going? Is there something that I can talk with you about? Is there something you can talk with me about? Is there something you need to get off of your chest before you go into work? How can I be of service to you today? It is imperative that we come outside of our own selves for a second. Come outside of this digital world where we're just Facebooking and we're putting messages on Facebook to say, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm thinking of you. Let that person hear your voice today. If you haven't talked to a family member in a while, give them a call and say, listen, I know that we're not talking and we haven't talked, but life is too short. I want to know how you're doing. If it's in your home, life is too short. I've made it a goal of mine every day to just ask my children, how's life? You'll find that it's a little bit kind of annoying in the beginning because they're not used to it. Some people might think, what do you want? What do you want? Because you're doing something outside of your norm. But remember that someone needs to hear your voice today. Someone needs to be inspired, encouraged by you today. Not just motivated, but someone needs to know that you care. Listen, this is a reciprocal thing because as you do it for someone else, God's going to bring that thing right back around and someone is going to do that for you. But I encourage you to step out first. Be the listener. Someone needs to know that you're listening to them today. Is it your child? Is it your spouse? Is it your coworker? Today you can make that change. Listen, I'm Shay Samuels. I'm glad that we had this talk today. You have just been motivated.